Okay. All right, so I believe we all have our environments created already. So, like, I think if the video had gone out already, when you start your Anaconda, you'd only have base environments or the base roots environments created for you already. So you have to create your own virtual environment, which I think people have created with a little bit of challenges, but we have it now. So if before you start, because we are going to be dealing with geographic stuff, and we will have to deal with also these geographic libraries. We create these virtual environments and then have our libraries installed in there. So either I just create a couple of them just based on what I want to use it for and the libraries that I want to have. So I'm just choosing one, which is a GIS environment. And these are the libraries that I have in there so far. There are two differences. We have launch and then we have install. So launch means that these libraries have already been installed, and with a click, you can launch it and start using it. The install over here just tells you that you have this library available and you can install it. Then you have it available for launching. So with the install, you have to click on the install, you install them, and then you can proceed to launch them. So let's click on Jupyter Notebook. So based on the location that you are in, so because my environment is located in my roots folder, it shows everything on my screen. So you'd have to navigate into the location that you'd want to have your files. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me just create a folder in here. All right, so this is the interface that you are greeted with, right? So it's an introduction. This is the interface you are greeted with. So you have your file system, it shows your files. The running over here allows you to see the terminals and then the notebooks running. So should I open another notebook, it should show me the notebooks that are currently running down here. And based on the terminals that are active, it should also show down here. Clusters, I don't know too much about these clusters. I've never really gone into that, but basically, I'll look into it later on and then we can update you guys. So we have quit to quit, log out to log out. We have our file system to be able to go into our file folders and open whichever file we want to open. And we have upload. Click it, you'll be able to bring in any file that you want to bring in here. Let's cancel it. The new gives you the access to be able to create new files. So using a Jupyter notebook means that you have to create the Jupyter file. So if that's the case, we click on the Python to start a new Jupyter notebook file. Then we can work with that other stuff that you can create. It's a text file, a folder, or a terminal. So we want to create a folder first. So I click on it. When you click on the create folder, it always comes with untitled folder. You can select it. You come to the top over here to rename the folder. So our folder has been renamed now. We can go into that particular folder. Now this is the folder where we want to keep all our Jupyter notebook files or the tutorials that we are going to be going through. So if that's the case, now I can come in here and create a Jupyter notebook file. So when you click on the Python in there has into brackets. Let's go there. the the IPy kernel, which is the kernel responsible for creating the Jupyter notebook. So one of the issues why some of the guys might probably be having the issue with the GeoPandas is because there are times that when you install your Anaconda, the IPy kernel isn't also installed in the base. So there's a script for installing the IPy kernel in the base, which would allow you to allow your Jupyter notebook to be able to pick the GeoPandas. That's one of the solutions that I came across. So that's with that. So when we come in here, you have your title here. You can click on it to give a new title, whatever you want to call this. So we can say intro to Jupyter. So we have our notebook renamed. So we have some buttons in here. We have the file. When we click on the file, it gives us a list of other buttons that allows us to do different processes. You can create a new notebook from this file. You can open another notebook, pre-existing notebook from this file. Also, you can make a copy of this file. So when you click on this make copy, it's just going to create a duplicate of the file for you. You can save this file as a PY file. You can save it also as probably no, that's not it. I think it's the download rather. So the download allows you to download as a Python file, PDF, HTML. So whichever extension or format that you want to have your file in, you can also download your file in those formats, and it's going to output whatever that you're going to do in that particular format. So yeah, but the names in here just talk about what they do. So rename is going to probably rename your title for your Jupyter notebook. Save checkpoints is going to save the work that you are doing. So there are times that you can have a lot of scripts in here, and because the scripts are running, it doesn't save the file for you. So if the scripts are running and you want to cancel or refresh your whole notebook again, it's going to give you a pop-up saying that, oh, what you are going to do, there are some files that haven't been saved so far. So you can come to the save, and it's just going to save your file for you and store the checkpoint. So the checkpoint has to be the last saved version of your Jupyter notebook. We have the edit button, which also comes with a lot of buttons in there. And the names as well, semantics. It means what you are saying. Cut cells is going to cut the cells. So probably I have something in here. I don't want this cell in here. I can just come to edit and just cut that cell away. Copy cells is going to copy the cell for you. You can paste above. So let's say the cell that I just cut. Let's see what the paste above is going to do. So it pastes the cell above. So you can move it, cut and paste it, allow it to move your cells around should you want to. Delete is going to delete your cells for you. Let's try merge cells above, merge cells below. Let's see. Let me have a check or edit merge cells above. So that's what it does, merges the cells for you. Interesting. So that's with the edit buttons. So based on what you want to do, or the effects that you want to have in your Jupyter notebook, you can access each of these ribbons in here to just see what you have available and the effects or processes that you can add to your Jupyter notebook. We have this in the view, insert cell above or below. So you have the cells. So, okay, so this is a button for running different type of operations on the cells. So run cell is going to run the particular cell that the most active cell. So you realize that the active cell is this particular cell because you can see the borders around it. So run cells is going to run this cell for me. Run all is going to run all cells. So usually if you have your notebook automated in the sense that probably you have a data that you are on a project, or you have data that comes in every day or every week. You can create a script in here which is automated in the sense that all you have to do is to open up your Jupyter notebook, click on run and it's going to start running the cells from the top throughout to the bottom to the last very cell, and it's just going to output the cells for you. So in a sense, you'll be able to also use this notebook for running your automations for weekly bits. Run all above is also going to run the cells, all the cells above your current highlighted cells, and the same goes for run or below. So the kernel over here talks about your most current Jupyter notebook. So the Jupyter notebook runs on kernel. Like I explained earlier on, we have the IPy kernel, and you can either start it or restart it or refresh it, whatever you want to do. It just gives you the option of manipulating your kernel over here. For more resources, you can come to the help button. Then you just click on any of these if you are having difficulties navigating around the Jupyter notebook. And these are some cool references. You have a reference for Python, a reference for IPython, a reference for NumPy, which you might probably have to use. Probably would have to use some NumPy operations. And even if you don't use NumPy operations, if you are dealing with arrays coming from probably when you are running a group by, or when you're running something like a group by, it just comes as a NumPy array. So we'll probably have a look at some of them. SciPy is also here, Matplotlib, Pandas. So we have a lot of references that we can look at from the help button in here. So basically, these are what the ribbons over here can help us do. We have this button over here that allows us to also save instantly, right? Plus over here is going to increase your cells for you. When you click the plus, the cut is also going to cut the cells. Paste is going to copy and paste. So you can copy the contents in here and then paste it. Paste cells below, just as the name implies. And you can use this to move cells above, move the cells below. Here, it allows you to run the cell, allows you to pause and currently run cell. So there are times that you are running an operation or you are running a cell. The operation that you are running in that particular cell is taking a very long time and you want to move on to do something else. You can just pause the current cell that you are running and then move to the next cell and then run that cell. Just in case that your kernel is overloaded with data. So I've experienced a situation where, based on the data that I was working with, the data was too heavy in such a way. The data was too heavy. What happened was that there was no memory and then my kernel was full. So it just shut down. The kernel just shut down. So I had to restart the kernel. It shut down again. So what it was saying was that the data was too huge to be run on Pandas on Jupyter Notebook. So I had to move it to a different server to run that operation there. So you can restart your kernel if it is experiencing a data leakage or experiencing something that isn't going well. You can restart it to see what's happening. What do we have over here? Restart kernel and rerun the whole notebook. That's similar to restarting the kernel. And in here we have the code markdown, we have raw NB converts. All right, so the button that I've used or I do use frequently has to do with the code and has to do with the markdown. The code is going to run each cell as a Python code or run each cell as the language that you are using at the moment. Language in the sense of programming language that you are using. The code is going to run them. So if I change this code to the markdown, it's going to run these as much more of text, some form of text or headings. And the markdown has a naming convention. The naming convention has to do with hash. So based on the number of hashes that you bring before whatever you type is going to give you a particular output. So currently still code, so it's giving me no output. When we change it to the markdown and we run it, it gives us some form of comments, or it allows us to pretty much edit our notebook in a way that is much more readable. So it helps with our visualizations. Let's see what the raw does. I haven't used the raw before. I don't know what it does, but probably we'll look into that later on. So heading is much more like the markdown. So based on the level of heading that we want to have, so we have two hashes over here. This is a level 2 heading if you want. So the number of hashes that you add is going to instruct how big your text within the markdown is going to be. So let's look at an example of that. Let's come back here. Let's change this back to the markdown. We have this type hash. Let's use 3. Wow. So you realize our text, our headings keep reducing with our increments in the hashes that we add to our markdown texts. All right, so this also gives us some command operations that we can also do to ourselves and do within the whole Jupyter notebook. I don't usually use anything in here, but you can explore for yourselves what it does, and we can all learn when you do so. All right, so that's just a little brief introduction into Jupyter Notebook. Just in case when you are running your notebook, there are times this trusted over here is going to change color. When it is red, it means that your kernel has shut down completely. So you have to probably restart the Jupyter Notebook again. But I think that's with it. That's that. Your notebook saves automatically also, but it usually saves automatically after your cells have been running. There's no current cell running at the moment. Let's go back and let's look at the running. So we have our current running notebook, introduction to Jupyter Notebook. And we can shut it down by the click of this shut down here. It's going to shut down the current kernel that is running. The current kernel running, you realize that when you start your Anaconda, it opens up another terminal for you, right? It opens up your command prompt or terminal for you. So the terminal running has the kernel in there. So when you shut down, it shuts down that particular kernel into your virtual environment that is being opened up within your terminal or your command prompt. Okay, so I'm done with the little introduction into Jupyter Notebook. If you have any questions, well, you can bring them on board. We answer them. We can call it a day. All right, it seems there are no questions. So stop sharing my screen. And one thing to add, just to motivate us all, is that before launching into IT, I completed my tertiary education in 2017. And upon completing, I had no knowledge of anything IT related. The only thing I knew how to do with my laptop was to watch a movie. I wasn't even conversant with Excel or Microsoft Word. So I was having a little bit of difficulties navigating my way around anything IT related, right? And then I met a guy who just explained to me something very brief. He said IT is just about English and reading, right? So and then everything you want to do about IT is already in front of you. So like we're going through the Jupyter Notebook, we realize it is English. They've already spelled out whatever that we want to have in the like the file. You click on the file, we read. We have save file, edit file. What do we want to do? Do we want to save a file? Do we want to edit a file? We click on those buttons. Does it give us the output that we want? It doesn't. Then we go back again. We try the other menus and tabs in there. It's all about try and error and just moving with whatever that has been spelled out for you. If we are able to do that, then I think it's then boils down to experience. You become familiar with whatever that you're doing, and your experience now speaks for you. So if anybody thinks that he's now coming to start or he's far behind, you are not alone. We all started not too long ago, and little by little we are pushing, and we'll definitely get there. All right. So Ernest, is there anything you'd want to add? Whilst we wait for Ernest, just in case you have some question you want to still bring on board, the floor is open. If there's anything you want clarity on, you can also bring it on board.
Okay. He was saying something about the Google engine, Earth engine. So I want to know he said you have to register. So I wanted to know the link in the group where we have to go and then register.
Okay, all right. We'll post the link. Let me share my screen briefly. We'll post the link also in the group. Let's see. So you can just try accessing the Google Earth engine, but you must add code because otherwise it will send you to another portal. So code.earthengine.google.com send you to the Google Earth engine portal where you have to follow the outline processes for you to register and to have access to the platform. So I have registered already. So this is what we are going to see. So let me just copy the URL and post it into the page. So I hope it's clear.
Yes, it's clear now.
All right. Great. Okay.
Question. These sessions are also being recorded, right? Like the Q&A sessions.
I hope so. I hope NS is recording it.
Okay, just
Yeah,
asking
but
because I know two people who said they would not be able to join today, and they are hoping to watch the recording. Yeah.
all right. Okay.
Please, while we are waiting, please can you take us through the software, the registration, then the installations for the software, the Anaconda, then the Jupyter, then how we get the different libraries. Can you take us through it?
Okay. So this is going to be brief. I wouldn't go into details because the videos have already been made and you can access it on YouTube. Okay, well, let's see. Let me just put it on. So I've added the code to the page. You can click on it and then let me know where it sends you. So on my screen, you can see my screen, right?
Please.
Not anymore. I don't see your screen anymore. Now, yes.
Great. All right. So it's been a while. All right. So anyway, you are currently signed in as Ajabajare there. Okay. So if I want to switch, probably I've not registered and I'm logged in because I'm using somebody's laptop or probably for different reasons. If it brings me onto this particular page, I want to register a new project. I'm authorized for an existing cloud project. Just go to sign up if you are registering for the first time. Okay. Let me use this because the person is already registered. All right. So this is the form that you are supposed to fill. Your email has already been picked up already. You put in your full name. You put in the affiliation or institution. So the institution should be a university. And then you select the type of institution. It should be education or academia. I think if it's non-profit also, they might consider, but usually you choose academia, you have a higher, so it should be a university, academia, name, Ghana. And what would you like to accomplish with Earth Engine? So, because we are saying that we are from a university, and the institution is academia, the purpose for it should be in relation to academics. So, probably want to use Earth Engine. So something like you want to use Earth Engine for research into I don't know any research topic, but research into some amazing.
Yeah, so you can have maybe land use land data or something over.
Okay, research and use land cover, and then you just agree, shows that you're not a robot, and then you submit it. So usually, if I remember correctly, once you submit, within 5 to 15 minutes, you should have an email from them telling you that you've been set up. If you don't receive any email within those minutes, it means that you weren't considered, or they will send you another email saying that you haven't been authorized for it. And when they send you that email, that means that you have to create another email again and try to change your English a little bit, suit something that's going to be much more convincing, and then you send it again. So it's a try and error. I think I tried signing up for a particular man, and I had to do it, I think, 14 times before it was accepted. So I created 14 emails for the guy before it was accepted. So that isn't the norm, but you can create it and instantly you would have yours. But if you don't have it, that doesn't mean you should stop. You can just play around your purpose for using it, and it should always be academia related.
And
So
maybe you want to also say, like, not just university, but give a name of a university. Maybe, I don't know if that is useful, but yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a name of the university. So I just placed the university in here to state that it should be a name of the university that we are currently.
Yeah, just saying for those who will follow this and try to write maybe university simply.
Thank you. So University of Ghana should do. So it can be the university of your country or any university that you are affiliated to. That should work. Okay, so we've done an hour and we can call it a day. Any other questions before we go? We leave. Okay, no questions. Then I think we can call it a day. So we'll continue with our videos in the coming week. And it's going to be posted. So we should look out for it and follow up from there. The live sessions are also going to continue on weekends. I'm going to be much more available on Saturdays, so it's going to be on Saturdays. So based on how it goes or it turns out, if the time isn't so conducive, probably we can be flexible with the time and change the time to a better time that would have more people coming on board. If that's not the case, then we maintain the same time. So probably, Ernest, can we probably create a poll on the time and see? You can set a specific range that you're going to fit.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So, Ernest, do you have any other things to add?
I think I'm fine. Fine.
Okay. All right. Then, so we'll meet in the coming week. Bye for now, then.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
All right.